Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Figs Outside. So today I'm going to be showing you guys a door handle issue on my Dodge, and it goes for a lot of other different vehicles with this style of handle. This is a 2005, and I know several other vehicles that have the same issue, and it's the same style of handle on the inside once you get into the door panel. Anyway, so let's check it out and see if it actually does something this time. All right, guys, so first things first, so you can see the handle, how it is right there. It doesn't really go in when it should actually be, it should be nice solid. It should go in all the way. This one does not. You see it hangs up. And so that will also cause the lock to stick. Let's see if it'll work. That actually came up on this one. So it's been doing this all day long, where this does not pop up. I have to open up the rear door and lift up on it at the same time. Pretty bright. At the same time of hitting the key fob unlock button. And so basically what you got to do, pretty simple. We'll get into it really quick and then I'll just start it. So what you're going to want to do is you have the Phillips right here, and inside of here, let's see. Well, right in there, there is a bolt. Let's see if I get the light on it. All right, guys, so there it is. So that is a 10mm bolt, or you can use a, I think it's a 40mm hex. I believe it's 40. It might be a 30, but I believe it's 40. Anyway, so you'll get that, and this handle will slide off. And then once you get that off, you're going to want to pop this out, disconnect it, and then get I like using paint scraper, and anyway, you get that in there. Oh, and also I forgot, no, down here you also have a couple Phillips screws, and also this one up in here. So anyway, you'll take those out, get a paint scraper, pop it in there, this will pop up, and you kind of you'll lift the whole door up and it'll come off. And that's where you want to disconnect this. And then once we get in there, I'll show you what it's like. All right, guys, so got the handle popped off, and then here is the controls right here. So it's just got these little push tabs. You want to push those and they'll slide right out. Push that one, same thing. There's no like little red locks or anything like that. So pretty easy to do. Oops, sorry guys. Pretty easy to do. You'll pop those off, and then we'll just lift this whole piece up. The whole thing, it'll kind of slide off there. And you can unscrew these if you want. I usually don't, but they do unscrew. You just twist them off just like normal. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Anyway, so that's what I was saying real quick. I was showing you guys this. These are those hooks that that's why you have to lift them up, because the door panel actually, or the inside door skin actually slides up into this piece right here. On all these right here, all these little grooves. So it sits down in there. So you just got to pull up, lift up, and then once you get in there, it's got this stuff. You got butyl tape that's holding this on. It's kind of nasty, kind of sticky, but it peels back. And so what you want to do is you want to take this. You'll see it. It's this whole strip right here. There's the where the control went. But you'll want to pop this, peel all this stuff off. You can scrape it too to try to save it. I usually just kind of peel it back. But once you get access, this will open up right here, and then you can see inside of there, and I think there's two bolts that hold it on. I don't remember if they're 8mm or what, but anyway. So we'll get into that and I'll show you guys what it's like. So we're just gonna peel all this back, flop it down, and then we can get in there and see what's going on. Usually what happens is there's springs on those handles. When you pull it, there's a lever that turns, and the springs get kind of gummed up from the dust and the dirt and the rain and all the other junk that's falling in between here, and it gets it down in there and it plugs it all up. So I'll show you guys what it's like when I get in there. All right, guys. All right, on to the next step. So got the light on, so hopefully we'll be able to get enough light. So yeah, they're little 8mm bolts. You got two of them that hold them on. And then once you get in here, you can see this part of the handle. So I'm gonna reach around. So, okay. So you can see when I pull on that, that's how that operates, and you can see it's sticking. You see that is not going all the way. So if that little piece is down, it will not allow your door lock to operate the way it should. And so basically these are pretty easy. All you gotta do, let's see if I can do it right here without it. Oh, losing focus. Anyway, so what you gotta do with these is you just pop those off this little rod. They slide on there, both of them. Man, yeah, it just keeps blurring out because it's focusing on the part of my face. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so what you do is you just pop that off, and then this little rod will slide out of up here. Don't get them mixed up. One's bigger than the other. So anyway, you'll pop those off, take off these two little 8mm nuts, and anyway, the handle will come out. So once we get the handle out, we can clean up the spring that sits inside of here with a little brake parts cleaner, and then I like to use like a white lithium or a dry silicone spray, or sometimes I use what I use to clean my pew-pews, which is Rem oil. It's a wet oil, goes on wet, dries, it's Teflon, so it stays pretty slick. And that way, if you use something like Blaster, I mean, all that stuff's a penetrant, and all it's going to do is attract more, like WD-40. All it's going to do is attract more dust and grease to stick on there, and that's not what you want, because that's kind of the reason why it's sticking now. So anyway, get out and we'll show what it looks like. All right, so I left that little red one connected because it's easier to get to out here, but it just slides out. You might have to tilt the handle up a little bit to get it over this. But once you have that out, you can really see how these little tabs work. They're pretty simple. You just push it over, and then push that rod out of it. I did it with one hand. Pretty simple. So you can see it is. Let's see if we can get some good light on there. I mean, that's pretty gross. That's really grimy. A lot of dirt, a lot of dust, and rain, and who knows what, right? So anyway, we're gonna get that cleaned up, and yeah, you can see it sticking right there. It was stuck. Yeah, it shouldn't be doing that. So it's kind of what it looks like. And then I'll show you guys what it's like when we get it all cleaned up. And yeah, I'm just going to use brake parts cleaner and a brush, get that all cleaned up so it starts working the way it should. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Alright guys, so I got it all sprayed up, cleaned up. See, it's a lot cleaner. And I'm still going to clean a little more, but just that little bit. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand. Here, hold on, let's see if we can do this way. So as you can see, it's already way better than what it was. It's actually going back in all the way. It's not sticking. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit more. I'm going to get that little piece over there, and I'm going to clean all that up, clean this up a little bit more, and then I'm going to hit it with a little Rem oil on the spring. I actually think I might have a little bit of a silicone spray, and it dries dry. You know, it's not sticky and it's not a wet silicone or a wet spray either. So anyway, pretty simple, pretty easy. And then you just do the reverse steps to get it back in there. You know, you pull that little wire up that actually it's right there. You know, pull that up, put it back in the red piece, snap that back over, slide it back in, and we'll kind of go in reverse order. I just wanted to show you guys that. I mean, that took me, hit it with the brake parts cleaner, it took me 30 seconds, you know, and it's already working really, really well. So, pretty simple, pretty easy. Don't need to take it to a dealership or an auto store, or I mean a garage. So, we're gonna get it back together. All right, guys. So we got it all put back together. I just kind of if you look down in there, you'll see that piece right there. That's the one that goes into the blue right there. I just kind of had to wiggle that around to get it to slide back into the little bushing. That's just a quick hint. If you're like, man, you're struggling with it, just kind of wiggle that rod and it'll slide in there. Anyway, so now we're just gonna start putting it back together. Actually, I gotta tighten those. But once I tighten those, it's gonna be just reverse order. You know, I'm gonna put this all back up. I'm gonna press all this, and if you want, you can also clean this off too. I mean, you can see it's also pretty nasty and gunky. So reverse order, you're gonna put this all back together. You're gonna get that panel, and remember, you're gonna start up high, and then you're gonna push it all in, and then you're gonna slide it down. So your panel, the top of the panel will actually be up here above your window, and then you're just gonna slide it down in there while pushing it in, and then you'll just fish these wires back up through where the thing goes. anyway, and then that'll be it. So pretty simple. Show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Pretty much like what it looked like when I started the video. All right, guys, so there it is. You see the handle works really well now. It doesn't hang up. The little lock pops up right away, even though it did when I first did. I've been fighting with that stupid thing all day. So there it is. It's all put back together. Put the screw up there in, right there. The 10 millimeter, or it is a 40 Torx head that goes in there, and then the 2 screws in the bottom. And then so you just kind of, what I do is I push the lock down. I set the bottom of the door in. There's 4 of them that are a little longer that are down here underneath, obviously, that go into the inside of the door panel. I set those in, and then I just kind of lift the handle, lift them just a tiny bit, and then the whole thing just pops and slides right in, and then you can just fish that up. So everything's good to go, everything's kosher, put back together. So that's how you fix the door handle on these style handles. Pretty simple, pretty easy. All right, guys, thanks. Woo, that's bright. Thanks for hanging out with me. And if you like this video, it helps you out at all, feel free to drop a comment, ask questions, and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and we'll get at you guys a little bit later. Bye.